welcome back to my channel. So today is going to be how to fake it. This is part of like my little fake it series, how to fake a nose job, how to get a snatch nose. Now I have done a decent amount of them on Instagram, but a lot of you guys have been saying to me on Instagram that you want like kind of a more full in-depth nose snatching. So that's what we're gonna do today. Don't mind my hair because it's like half dry, half wet. It looks like a disaster, but I wanted to get this video up for you and I hope you enjoy it. So I don't know why, I'm like so excited to get this video up for you guys. Anyways, if you'd like to see this, stay tuned. So I really wanted to focus on just the nose. So I do have on foundation, cream contour, and then blush. That's kind of the steps that I would do before I would start the nose snatch. So now I'm going to use this Smashbox concealer. This is the Studio Skin 24-Hour Waterproof Concealer, and this is in the color Light. So the first thing I'm going to do is go under my eyeballs and on the other side. So you have two different options here. I've been doing this recently and I really like the way that it looks. I like covering the entire nose area and all of this. So it's really bright here. Take it up. So I'll explain this in a second, but just as far as the concealer, so the further you bring it out like this, the kind of wider it's going to make this part of your face look. If you want to focus the highlight and to keep everything brought in, if you feel like your face is a little bit wider over here, actually Marilyn Monroe was famous, her makeup artist was famous for doing this. So if you want to bring everything in a little bit more narrow, you just want to keep your concealer in here because that's going to bring light to the face and it's going to keep it all in the center, if that makes sense. So I want to kind of bring this out. Kim Kardashian's makeup artist actually brought in the beginning, I mean, she does her makeup very different now, but when she was doing the really smoky eye and when she really became very famous, they brought her concealer way out. Before that dries, I'm gonna stop talking and start blending this in. I'm just using a damp beauty blender. So back to the nose now. So the reason why I kind of covered the entire nose, you could also do, which I've done a ton of times, and that's how I kind of used to do it, but I've been doing it this way and I really seem to like it. So you could bring up your concealer, you know, really close here, and then bring in your cream contour here, and then put the strip of white down the nose. Now, for me, when I'm doing with the creams, I find it to be like a little messy and then the lines kind of get mixed up. So I just like this and I feel like it's a really good base and I really love this concealer for this kind of use. So I'm just gonna really buff this in. Okay, so now that that is all blended, I'm gonna take a setting powder. Now, I can't bake, well, it depends. I'm awful and I don't drink as much water as I should, like not nearly enough, and I need to get into a better habit of doing that. But if you are kind of you guys know my skin is dry, and if you don't drink water on top of it, when you bake and put a lot of powder on your face, you tend to get it does the opposite of what you want to do. Like baking is going to help really keep your foundation, and whatever cream products you're going to use is going to keep your foundation lasting, and it's going to cut your jawline or whatever you wanted to do. But what happens is if you have a dryness underneath your eyes, it's going to make them more pronounced. So I'm going to show you a little trick that I like to do that's going to help that. I'm picking up Eve Pearl's High Definition Dual Pressed Powder in medium. I'm just going to go ahead in with that same beauty blender, and I'm just going to pick up a little bit of the lighter color. Now this I would kind of set my entire face if I needed to, but the lighter works really well for underneath the eyes. And I'm going to press that just really gently underneath my eyeballs. I don't know why I keep saying eyeballs. And on my nose. For me, concealer, the main reason why I set concealer, or I used to set concealer, not so much that it didn't stay on me because it did, but for mascara. And I don't really love using waterproof mascara on my top lashes because you guys know it's such a bitch to get off. But I have found just using for whatever reason, for me, it's a little bit easier taking off waterproof mascara just on your bottom lashes because you just can kind of go like this and pull it down, which I guess you could do the top lashes, but I don't know, I just find it easier. So what I've been doing is using regular mascara on the top lashes and waterproof on the bottom. That way you don't have to bake as crazy. Now, if you are, I'm 30, but if you are like in your 20s or in your teens or whatever, go ahead and bake away if your skin too also is a little bit oilier. just for me, this is what kind of works better for me because I'm not 12 and also I'm very dry underneath my eyes. Okay, so back to what we were doing here. I'm gonna take, this is new. I'm not exactly sure if it's out yet, but I'll find out for you. So this is the Rimmel London. It has a highlighter, illuminator, a contour sculptor, and a blush all in one. And this is in the color golden bronze. There is other colors. Like I said, there's 2 other colors or 3 other colors. I'm not sure, maybe 2. But this one actually, it picks up enough color, but it doesn't pick up so much that it's like, you know, you put it on your brush and you put it on your nose and it's like catches and it's like a lot of product and it blends out really nice. So I really like this. I actually received this yesterday and I was playing with it last night and I was like, ooh, this is fun. So I figured I'd throw it in here. I'm also picking up, this is by Luxie Beauty and this is their brand new, it's called the Precision something. It's like a little set and they're all like really tiny mini little brushes and it's all for your eyes and stuff. But I saw this brush and I was like, ooh, nose. Yes. Okay, so you're gonna place the color on your brush and then you wanna just like kind of tap off the excess. And then we're gonna go, okay, so to the nose now. Depending on what type of nose and depending on the effect that you want to have is how you're going to contour. You know, a lot of Instagram tutorials, like I noticed it's a trend just to do the same old thing, light on each side, down the nose with dark and light all the way down in the center. So that's great if you have a nose that you're happy with the length of it, but if you have a little bit of a longer nose, that's not going to help you. And even sometimes I see putting the darker right here, which, you know, you could do as well. But if you bring this down almost all the way and put the darkness, it's still not gonna quite create a really a shorter nose if that's what you're looking for. So for me, my nose is kind of wider here, like my actual, I don't know if I keep looking cross-eyed, but I'm looking in the monitor here to kind of show you. So my nose, the bone of it kind of goes out far, even though that it doesn't really necessarily look wide up here, but the actual bones are kind of come out here the way my nose is shaped. So for me, it's really important to kind of cover all of that in concealer so it kind of just masks it and washes it out. I'm gonna do all light under here, and then for me, I like to kind of make this area a little bit smaller, like the bulb of the nose. So for that, I'm gonna show you what to do. And I like to bring it down kind of to here. I don't want to really lengthen my nose any longer. I'm not really unhappy with the length of my nose, but I don't want to elongate it anymore. So back to what we're doing. And I feel like this video is going to be 800 years old because I can't stop talking. I guess it's been a long time since I've done the full talk through. Place this down the bridge of your nose in little strokes as so. Just like that. Now also guys, remember the closer you bring the line in this way, the skinnier it's gonna make your nose. Another trick too guys, if you feel like your nose is really skinny, don't do this, okay? Don't bring the lines in really tiny. You could actually fake it and make it look a little wider, like you have a wider nose, if you bring out those lines a little bit and put a much larger strip of white or a lighter color in the center. Do the same thing here. So right now, I'm gonna do this really dark too so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. And because of the previous step that we did with the Eve Pearl pressed powder, it's going to kind of wipe it away much easier than just placing it over something that's like a wet product. Oh, I have a tickle. Okay, the other thing I like to do is I like to kind of connect it to my eyebrow here. Another trick too with your eyebrows, the kind of closer you bring them in together and then also with connecting this sort of ever so slightly, it's also going to create a more narrow look. What I'm going to do is I want to create this right here. I want to make it a little bit smaller. So anything that you want to recede, you're going to use dark, and then anything that you want kind of prominent to stand out, you're going to use the lighter. Another thing that you can do is take this and instead of just doing it on the sides, you can go the whole thing here and then place a little bit of highlight, and that will give you more of like a little round button nose. But this is kind of how I like to do it. Yes, that nose is starting to look snatched. So yeah, again, I need to have a drink of water or something. Again, I am doing it very dark and I'm doing it with a more of a heavy hand just so you guys can see what I'm talking about. I wouldn't like put this much product on normally. But so now what we're gonna do is we are going to bake. So I'm not going to take this completely under my under eyes because I don't really need to because I use that pressed powder and that's going to keep my concealer lasting all day. I feel like such a promo like speaker when I do that. It's lasting all day long. I'm going to take my favorite setting powder, RCMA No Color Colorless Powder. You can pick this up at Friends Beauty. I'll leave the link down below. On an old school, oldie but goodie little sponge here. And what you're gonna do is go really close to that contour and kind of follow the line here and just press it in. Let's do the same on the other side. I gotta bring this mirror closer because I can't see. Okay, so we are just about done here. Okay, so yeah, as you can see, if you have the same problem kind of as I do, especially if you don't drink water, like we all should, yeah, just kind of place the baking right along this area instead of bringing it all the way up. It's going to make your life so much better. Believe me, it's changed my life. Anyways, I'm gonna come right back. I'm gonna leave this on for 5 minutes and then I'll be right back. So now that I have baked for about 5 minutes, I'm gonna take my Morphe E49 brush and I'm gonna start sweeping this away. Now I like to take it from the very corner and just push it. Then excess off. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is, now you guys don't have to do all of these steps, but if you want a snatched nose, this is what I like to do. So now I'm gonna go back, in with the Eve Pearl and I'm going to use the medium, well, they're both medium, but I'm gonna use the lighter shade from the palette and I'm gonna use my little fan brush. What this is going to do is, so it doesn't look like you have just two lines down your nose. What it's gonna do is it's gonna kind of slowly fade it out and create a little bit of a shadow so it actually looks like your nose is that narrow. And you're gonna take right where that line is and you're just gonna flick it out. And go up and down a little bit. So see how that made a huge difference, just that little extra step. I'm gonna pick up this palette again from Rimmel. I'm gonna take, I just like using my finger. I just find it to be the easiest. And I'm gonna do right on the tip of my nose. Now, if you have a very wide, like bulbous bulb right here, you're not gonna wanna highlight this because it's going to bring more attention to it. Also down the nose. Now, you don't wanna do the whole nose because again, that's gonna elongate everything. If you have a short nose, then go ahead and do the whole thing. All right, and the very last step is just to soften any areas where you feel like it's a little bit too prominent. I just want to soften this up here. So I think that's about good. So this is where I would finish the rest of my face, put on highlighter all over my freaking face because, you know, that's how I do. And yeah, but just for this video, I wanted to show you kind of how I would create a fake nose job. So if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps me out so much. And like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, all that jazz, if you'd like. All the information will be down below, and I'll see you later. Bye.